Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Shire for Hire's Deck Tech. I am your host, Shire for Hire. How is everybody doing today? It's been a hot minute since I've done one of these, and not gonna lie, I kind of missed it. I know that I said in my very first Deck Tech video I wasn't gonna make many of these videos anyway, and I've kind of stayed true to that, even though I have probably made 4 more decks since my last video, which I believe was Sauron, Lord of the Bling. But today I am presenting you Purphoros, God of the Forge. He is my favorite god in all of Magic, and ever since Theros came out back in like 2015 maybe it was, 2015, 2014, maybe even sooner than that, 2013, I don't know. But he's been one of my favorite cards, definitely my favorite god. I've used him a bunch in other decks that produce tokens such as like Prosh, Sky Raider of Kerr, and other decks that produce tokens. And I figured, you know what? It's time to turn this bad boy into a commander. And I did just that. So we're going to get right down to it, all right? Just for the basic stats for the deck, what we have inside the meat and potatoes, we've got 40 creatures. We have 11 artifacts. We have 6 enchantments. We have 3 instants, 7 sorceries, 32 lands. And I know you're thinking to yourself, like, Jesus Christ, 32 lands. How the hell does this deck even work? Well, our average mana drop is about 3. So I think we're okay as far as the lands go. You only really need to have 6 lands, tops. So, yeah. Anyway, let's get into Purphoros, okay? He is the god of the forge. He is a legendary enchantment creature. So when he enters the battlefield, he's an enchantment off the bat, right? Unless I have his devotion to 5 is greater. So as long as your devotion to red is less than 5, Purphoros is not a creature. He is an indestructible enchantment. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, Purphoros deals 2 damage to each opponent. Ouch. For 2 colorless and a red, creatures you control get +1/+0 to the end of the turn. We're not really worried about that bottom ability. It does come in handy, but it's not what we're going for. We're going for this middle ability right here. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield, it does 2 damage to each opponent. So, let's get into the creatures, all right? And this is basically... it's a goblin deck. I'm not going to lie to you. It's a goblin deck. There's a lot of cards in here that aren't goblins, but they're also very conducive to what we are doing and trying to achieve with the deck. So we're going to start with the Dragon Master Outcast for 1 red, creature human shaman. At the beginning of your upkeep, if you control 6 or more lands, put a 5/5 red dragon creature token with flying onto the battlefield. That is a token generator. We like token generators. This is basically a token generating deck. Frenzied Goblin, whenever this creature attacks, for 1 red and a 1/1, by the way, sorry. Whenever this creature attacks, you may pay 1 red. If you do, target creature cannot block this turn. Raphael, Tough Turtle. Well, he's not a goblin, he's a turtle. Yes, listen. He's Raphael, Tough Turtle. For 1 colorless and a red, he's a 1/3 legendary creature, mutant ninja turtle. Alliance, whenever another creature you control enters, Raphael deals 1 damage to target opponent. Hexing Squelcher, of course he's going to be in there. I don't like my stuff getting countered, you know what I mean? So for a 1 red and 1 colorless, he's a 2/2 Goblin Sork. This spell cannot be countered. Ward, pay 2 life. Spells you control cannot be countered. Other creatures you control have ward, pay 2 life. Excellent card. Absolute frickin' unit. Goblin Piledriver, for 1 red and 1 colorless. He's a 1/2 Goblin Warrior. He has protection from blue. Whenever Goblin Piledriver attacks, it gets +2/+0 to the end of the turn for each attacking goblin. We have a lot of goblins, guys. Young Pyromancer. He is a 1 colorless, 1 red, 2/1. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, create a 1/1 red elemental creature token. Remember, guys, the theme is tokens. Goblin Crater Maker for 1 red, 1 colorless. He's a 2/2 Goblin Warrior, 1 colorless. Sacrifice Goblin Creator Maker. Choose one. Goblin Creator Maker deals 2 damage to target creature or destroy target colorless non-land permanent. This is what's going to get pesky artifacts off of the field. Dwarven Miner. Well, he's not a goblin, no, but he does give us a little bit of control. For 1 colorless, 1 red, he's a 1/2 dwarf. For 2 colorless and a red, you're going to tap him, destroy target non-basic land. Goblin Slicer. For 1 colorless, 1 red, he's a 2/1 Goblin Warrior. Raid. At the beginning of your end step, if you attack this turn, create a 1/1 red Goblin creature token. Battlecry Goblin. Creature, Goblin. 1 colorless, 1 red, 2/2. For 1 colorless and a red, goblins you control get +1/+0 and gain haste until the end of the turn. Whenever Battlecry Goblin attacks, if you attack with creatures with power 6 or greater this combat, create a 1/1 red Goblin creature token that's tapped and attacking. Goblin Picker. 1 red and 1 colorless. He's a 2/2 Goblin. For red, tap it, discard a card, draw a card. Shock Brigade. 1 colorless, 1 red, he's a 1/3 Goblin Soldier. He's got Menace. This creature cannot be blocked except by 2 or more creatures. Mobilize 1. Whenever this creature attacks, create a tapped and attacking 1/1 red warrior creature token. Sacrifice it at the beginning of the next end step. Remember, all these tokens are just popping 2 damage, 2 damage, 2 damage. And we have enchantments that are going to be multiplying that damage. Warren Instigator. For 2 red, he's a 1/1. He's a Goblin Berserker. He's got double strike. Whenever Warren Instigator deals damage to an opponent, you may put a Goblin creature card from your hand onto the battlefield. Pashalik Mons. For 2 colorless and a red, he's a 2/2 Goblin Warrior. I love this card, by the way. Whenever Pashalik Mons or another goblin you control dies, Pashalik Mons deals 1 damage to any target. 3 colorless, 1 red, sacrifice a goblin, create 2 1/1 red goblin creature tokens. Arms Dealer. 2 colorless and a red, he's a 1/1 Goblin Rogue. For 1 colorless and a red, sacrifice a goblin. Arms Dealer deals 4 damage to target creature. Relic Robber. 2 colorless and a red, he's a 2/2 Goblin Rogue. Haste. Whenever Relic Robber deals combat damage to a player, that player creates a 0/1 colorless Goblin Construct artifact creature token with. This creature can't block. And at the beginning of your upkeep, this creature deals 1 damage to you. Krenko, 10th Street Kingpin. He's 2 colorless and a red. He's a 1/2. He is a Goblin. Whenever Krenko, 10th Street Kingpin attacks, put a 1/1 counter on it. Then create a number of 1/1 red Goblin creature tokens equal to Krenko's power. Legion War Boss. This is another great card. 2 colorless and a red. Creature, Goblin Soldier, 2/2. Mentor. Whenever this creature attacks, put a 1/1 counter on a target attacking creature with lesser power. At the beginning of combat on your turn, create a 1/1 red Goblin creature token. That token gains haste until the end of the turn and attacks this combat if able. Scalestorm Summoner. Human Warlock is a 2 colorless and a red for a 3/3. Whenever Scalestorm Summoner attacks, create a 3/1 red dinosaur creature token if you control a creature with power 4 or greater. We got those. Rummaging Goblin. For 2 colorless and a red. Goblin Rogue. He's a 1/1. Discard a card, draw a card. We have Gut, True Soul Zealot. 2 colorless and a red. He's a 2/2 Goblin Shaman. Whenever you attack, you may sacrifice another creature or an artifact. If you do, create a 4/1 black skeleton creature token with Menace that's tapped and attacking. Choose a background. You can have a background as a second commander. We're not using a background. Goblin Rabblemaster. 2 colorless and a red. He is a 2/2 Goblin Warrior. Other creatures you control attack each combat as able. At the beginning of combat on your turn, create a 1/1 red Goblin creature token with haste. Whenever Goblin Rabblemaster attacks, it gets +1/+0 until the end of the turn for each other attacking goblin. Treasure Nabber. 2 colorless and a red. He's a 3/2 Goblin Rogue. Whenever an opponent taps an artifact for mana, you gain control of that artifact until the end of your next turn. Felden of the Third Path. 1 colorless, 2 red. He is a 2/3 human artificer. In 2 colorless and a red, tap it. Create a token that's a copy of target creature card in your graveyard, except it's an artifact in addition to its other types. It gains haste. Sacrifice it at the beginning of the next end step. And, I mean, if you have somebody like Krinko Mob Boss in your graveyard, or somebody else that's producing tokens, obviously you're going to be copying those creatures. Hobgoblin Bandit Lord. He's 1 colorless, 2 red. He's a 2/3 goblin rogue. Other goblins you control get +1/+1. For red, tap it. Hobgoblin Bandit Lord deals damage equal to the number of goblins that enter the battlefield under your control this turn to any target. Goblin War Chief. 1 colorless, 2 red. He is a 2/2 goblin warrior. Goblin spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. Goblin creatures you control have haste. Of course he's going to be in a goblin deck. Volley Veteran. 3 colorless, 1 red. He is a 4/2 goblin warrior. When Volley Veteran enters, it deals damage to target creature an opponent controls equal to the number of goblins you control. He's a little explodey boy. Siege Gang Lieutenant. For 3 colorless and a red, he is a 2/2 goblin. He's got Lieutenant. At the beginning of combat on your turn, if you control your commander, create 2 1/1 red goblin creature tokens. Those tokens gain haste until the end of the turn. 2 colorless. Sacrifice a goblin. Siege Gang Lieutenant deals 1 damage to any target. Red Cap Gutter Dweller. For 2 colorless, 2 red, he is a 3/3 goblin warrior. Menace. When Red Cap Gutter Dweller enters the battlefield, create 2 1/1 red creature, 1/1 black rat creature tokens. This creature cannot block. At the beginning of your upkeep, you may sacrifice another creature. If you do, put a 1/1 counter on Red Cap Gutter Dweller and exile the top card of your library. You may play that card this turn. Sulfum, Mayhem of Dominus. I'm actually contemplating getting rid of this guy. For 2 colorless, 2 red, he is a 5/4 Phyrexian Horror. If a source you control would deal non-combat damage to an opponent or a permanent an opponent controls, it deals double that damage to that player or permanent instead. For 1 colorless and 2 Phyrexian mana. For those who don't know what Phyrexian mana is, you can either pay the mana or you can pay in life. Discard 2 cards. Put an indestructible counter on Sulfum, Mayhem Dominus. Like it says right there, can be paid with either mana or 2 life. Krinko, Mob Boss. You knew he was going to be in this deck. Come on. For 2 colorless, 2 red, 3/3 Goblin Warrior. You guys know what he does. You tap him. Create X 1/1 red Goblin creature tokens, where X is the number of goblins you control. This guy originally was going to be the commander, but I was like, you know what, there's just way too many fucking Krinko decks out there. We're going to have to switch it up, and I felt like Purphoros was probably the best bet. And so far, it's been a lot of fun, so I'm glad I made that decision. We have Beetleback Chief for 2 colorless, 2 red. He is a 2/2 Goblin Warrior. When Beetleback Chief enters the battlefield, put 2 1/1 red Goblin creature tokens onto the battlefield. Tongue twisters, I'm telling you. Slash Reptile Rampager. He is 3 colorless, 2 mana. He is a 7/5 mutant berserker turtle. He's not a goblin. No, he's not. However, he is Pocket Purphoros. He has Alliance. Whenever another creature you control enters, Slash deals 2 damage to each opponent. Whenever Slash attacks, create a 2/2 red mutant creature token. This card's a little busted, man, for 5 for a 7/5. Ooh, alright. We have Kazul, Tyrant of the Cliffs. He is 3 colorless, 2 red. He is a 5/4 Ogre Warrior. Whenever a creature an opponent control attacks, if you're the defending player, create a 3/3 red Ogre creature token unless that creature's controller pays 3. Terror of the Peaks. He is 3 colorless, 2 red. He is a 5/4 dragon. He's got flying. Spells your opponents cast that target Terror of the Peaks costs an additional 3 life to cast. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, Terror of the Peaks deals damage equal to that creature's power to any target. Man, I'm telling you, it's a goblin machine gun. Siege Gang Commander, 3 colors, 2 red. He is a 2/2 goblin. When Siege Gang Commander enters, create 3 1/1 red goblin creature tokens. For 1 colorless and a red, sacrifice a goblin. Siege Gang Commander deals 2 damage to any target. We have Jaws. What the hell is Jaws doing in here? Because it's like a machine gun deck, guys. Just hear me out. We have Jaws, Relentless Predator. He is 2 red and 3 colorless. He is a legendary creature. Shark. He is a 5/5. He's got trample and he's got haste. Whenever Jaws deals combat damage to a player, create that many blood tokens. Whenever a non-creature artifact is sacrificed or destroyed, Jaws deals 1 damage to each opponent. And, we also have treasure tokens in here, too. These are non-creature artifacts between the blood tokens and the treasure tokens. We have Kiki-Jiki, Mirror Breaker, 2 colorless, 3 red. Legendary creature Goblin Shaman, that's a 2/2. He's got haste. Tap him. Put a creature token on play that's a copy of the target non-legendary creature you control. That creature token has haste. Sacrifice it at the end of the turn. Love this card. Ancient Copper Dragon. This is where we get our treasure tokens. He is a Elder Dragon 6/5 for 2 red mana, 4 colors. Flying. Whenever Ancient Copper Dragon deals non-combat damage to a player. Deals combat damage to a player. Roll a d20. You create a number of treasure tokens equal to the result. This thing makes Jaws go off. Last but not least for the creatures, we have Chancellor of the Forge. He is 4 colorless, 3 mana. He is a 5/5 giant. You may reveal this card from your opening hand. If you do, at the beginning of your first upkeep, put a 1/1 red goblin creature token with haste onto the battlefield. When Chancellor of the Forge enters the battlefield, put X 1/1 red goblin creature tokens with haste onto the battlefield, where X is the number of creatures you control. And it's the creature machine gun, and we're not depending solely on, the 2/2 damage. We have other tricks up our sleeves that are going to help us with that. And we're going to get to the artifacts, and we're also going to probably make some edits on the artifacts because I don't really feel like I need a Soul Ring in the deck, honestly. I feel like the deck can go without Soul Ring, but for now it's still there until I find a replacement. So we have Soul Ring. We have the Dawnblessed Pennant for 1 colorless mana. As this artifact enters, you choose Elemental, Elf, Fairy, Giant, Goblin, Kithkin, Merfolk, or Treefolk. Whenever a permanent you control of the chosen type enters, you gain 1 life. 2 mana, tap it, sacrifice this artifact. Return target card of the chosen type from your graveyard to your hand. This is a pretty damn good card. Illusionist Bracers. 2 colorless mana, artifact, equipment. This is going on Krenko or anybody that's going to be tapping for tokens, basically. Whenever an ability of an equipped creature is activated, so basically Krenko's tapping ability. If it isn't a mana ability, copy that ability. You may choose new targets for the copy. Equip 3. Ruby Medallion, obvious reasons, 2 colorless. Red spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. Lightning Greaves, you guys know what Lightning Greaves does. We're going with the Shroud and Haste. Swiftfoot Boots, we're going to have Hexproof and Haste for 2 colorless and 1 equip cost. Patchwork Banner, 3 colorless mana. Artifact as Patchwork enters, choose a creature type, Goblins. Creatures you control of the chosen type get +1/+1, and then you can also tap and add 1 mana of any color. Static ability, awesome. Icon of Ancestry, 3 colorless mana. Artifact. As Icon of Ancestry enters the battlefield, choose a creature type. Creatures you control of the chosen type get +1/+1. You guessed it, Goblins. 3 colorless mana, tap it. Look at the top 3 cards of your library. You may reveal a creature card of the chosen type from among them and put it into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in random order. Rings of Brighthearth. Love this card. 3 colorless mana, artifact. Whenever you inactivate an ability, if it isn't a mana ability, you may pay 2. If you do, copy that ability. You may choose new targets for the copy. That will be Krenko's ability or anybody other goblins or creatures that have tricks. So we're going to double those. Vanquisher's Banner, 5 colorless mana. A little pricey, but it's come in clutch a couple times. As Vanquisher's banner enters the battlefield, you choose a creature type. You guessed it, goblins. Creatures you control of the chosen type get +1/+1. Whenever you cast a creature spell of the chosen type, you draw a card. That's why that thing costs 5 mana. Coat of Arms. Great card. 5 colorless mana. Artifact. Each creature gets +1/+1 for each other creature in play of the same creature type. For example, if there are 3 goblins in play, each of them get +2/+2. We're trying to have 12 goblins on the battlefield. So they're going to get +11/11. That's it for the artifacts. We're going to go on to our instants. We only have 3 of them, so we're going to keep it simple. We have a braid. 1 colorless, 1 red. Choose 1. A braid deals 3 damage to target a creature. We're not really worried about that. Or destroy target artifact. That is why we have that in the deck. We need to get rid of pesky artifacts. Deflecting SWAT is coming off of the Game Changers list. That I'm going to actually try to lower this from a tier 4, bracket 4, to a bracket 3. Just because I want it to be more of a medium power level deck. And in order to do that, I'm going to have to get rid of my Ancient Tomb that's in the deck, because that's also a game changer. So we are keeping the Deflecting SWAT. It's coming off, or it already has come off of the Game Changers list. So that's good, because I love this card. It's one of my favorite cards, and to me, it's a staple in any red deck. I know you guys have heard me say that before, and I stand by it 100%. For 2 colorless and a red instant spell, if you control a commander, you may cast a spell without paying its mana cost. You may choose new targets for target spell or ability. So, say you're going to counter, you're countering one of my creatures that are in the battlefield, and I've got Purphoros out here in the battlefield. I can pay this for free. I can have the counter spell redirect towards the Deflecting SWAT and counter the Deflecting SWAT, as opposed to the creature that would be entering the battlefield. So, I mean, that's pretty awesome. I love that card. I'm telling y'all, don't sleep on that card. It's a little pricey, but you know what? Worth it. 100% worth it. Sorceries. We have 7 of them. We have Tempt with Vengeance. It is a X and 1 red mana. This is called Tempting Offer. Put X 1/1 red elemental creature tokens with haste onto the battlefield. Each opponent may put X 1/1 red elemental creature tokens with haste onto the battlefield. For each player who does, put X 1/1 red elemental creature token with haste onto the battlefield. So it's basically, okay, I'm going to put in 5, and then my opponent across from me says, all right, I'm going to put in 5. And then the opponent next to him says, no, to hell with that, man. I'm just going to give this guy more tokens. I'm not doing it. And then, but the guy next to me says, all right, I'm going to put out 5, elemental tokens too. That's going to give me an additional 5 and an additional 5. It'll give me 15. Awesome card. And plus, a Purphoros out in the field, you know what he's doing. Krako's command for 1 red, 2 colorless. Create 2 1/1 red goblin creature tokens. Firecat Blitz, card that does not see enough play. X colorless mana, 2 red mana. Put X 1/1 red cat creature tokens with haste into play. Remove them from the game at the end of the turn. Flashback, 2 red mana. Sacrifice X mountains. You may play this card from your graveyard for its flashback cost, then remove it from the game. This is absolutely a great card. I've actually used the flashback once and I've won. So it's a great card. We do have some land destruction in here, and because we're mono red deck, we're not exactly all that strong other than what Purphoros is doing and what our enchantments are going to be doing, but we got to keep our guys in check, Ruination, 3 colorless, 1 red, sorcery. Destroy all non-basic lands. Ouchie, wah wah, please don't cry. Goblin Rally, 3 colorless, 2 red. Create 4 1/1 red goblin creature tokens. Jackal Hops, 4 colorless, mana, 2 red. It's a sorcery. You bury all artifacts, creatures, and lands for 6 mana. I mean, it's basically, what is it, Wrath of God or Armageddon, which whenever those white spells are. But that's the red version of that. And then we've got Blasphemous Act. Sorcery. The spell costs 1 less to cast for each creature on the battlefield. You know what it does. Blasphemous Act deals 13 damage to each creature. Now, with some of the enchantments we have in here, I've hit as hard as 39. So all your creatures that might be 12s or 14s or 15s, if these enchantments that I'm about to show you are out in the battlefield, it's GG's for your creatures, your opponent's creatures. So Impact Tremors for 1 colorless, 1 red, enchantment. Whenever a creature you control enters, the enchantment deals 1 damage to each opponent. Another Purphoros for the pocket. Goblin Aura Flame for 1 colorless, 1 red enchantment. Attacking creatures you control get +1/+1. Shared Animosity for 2 colorless, 1 red, and enchantment. Created. Whenever a creature you control attacks, it gets +1/+0 until the end of the turn for each other attacking creature that shares a creature type with it. And you know what those goblins are going to do. They're going to go ham. Fervor. 2 colorless, 1 red. Creatures you control have haste. You guys know what haste does. Furnace of Wrath, love this card. Also love the art, love the year. Such a great year for Magic. For 1 colorless, 3 red, enchantment. If a source would deal damage to a creature or player, it deals double that damage to that creature or player instead. Blasphemous Act, anybody? Last enchantment for the deck is going to be Fiery Emancipation for 3 colorless and 3 red enchantment. If the source you control would deal damage to a permanent or a player, it deals triple that damage to that permanent or player instead. So that is it for our spells. We're going to get to the land, which is going to basically be the quickest part of this video. I'm trying to keep it under a half an hour. Also, thank you guys for showing me all the love on that Sauron deck that I built. I have made quite a few edits to that deck. I might actually be reposting it here in the next couple weeks just to show you what the edits were. Try to keep it simple. But yes, also a game changer card, Ancient Tomb. Another thing that I forgot to mention too, when I was talking about lowering the bracket to a 3, I'd have to also get rid of I'd have to get rid of my land destruction as well. So I'm considering that too if I want to make this a bracket 3 deck. More, more mid-range. I don't know. But that's probably where we're going with this, because I always feel bad when I destroy lands. Unless, of course, I'm being targeted constantly. And if I continue to be target number 1, I'm destroying everybody's shit. That's just how it works. If I can't have fun, neither can you. I know it sounds shitty, but it's fun. Ancient Tomb, game changer card. Probably getting rid of it. You tap it, add 2 colorless mana to your mana pool. Ancient Tomb deals 2 damage to me. Cavernous Souls, as it enters the battlefield, choose a creature type, add a colorless mana, tap it, add 1 mana of any color, spend this mana only to cast a creature spell of the chosen type. That spell cannot be countered. We're going with Goblins. Keep. Land, legendary land. Tap to add for a colorless mana for a red and a colorless. Tap it, create a 0/1 red kobold creature token named Kobolds of Keep. Hidden Volcano, when it enters the battlefield, tapped. Tap it for a red, for a colorless and a red. Tap it. Sacrifice Hidden Volcano, discover 4, activate only as a sorcery. Exile cards from the top of your library until you exile a non-land card with mana value 4 or less. Cast it without paying its mana cost or put it onto your hand. Put the rest on the bottom in any order, in random order. Sorry. Den of the Bugbear. Love this card too. It is a land. If you control 2 or more other lands, Den of the Bugbear enters the battlefield tapped. I really feel like this should have been a legendary land, but that's just me. Tap it for a red. 3 colorless and a red until the end of the turn. Den of the Bugbear becomes a 3/2 red goblin creature with whenever this creature attacks. Create a 1/1 red goblin creature token that's tapped and attacking. It's still a land. It's such a fucking pain in the ass card. And here we have, let's see, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27 mountains. And that concludes our Breaking of a God, Purphoros, God of the Forge video. I'd like to thank everybody who has subscribed to the channel. It's a work in progress. I do appreciate the feedback that I've got from you guys. A lot of really cool ideas. A buddy of mine set with the Rakdos deck that I did about adding the Goblin Sharpshooter and the Basilisk Collar. That has helped out tremendously in the Rakdos deck. You guys, Magic community is just great for the most part. Of course, there's going to be bad apples in any community, but you guys have really, you've shown up, and I'm going to continue to try to put out as much of this type of content as possible, because this seems to be what you guys are more interested in, other than like my gaming videos or comic books or anything like that. So with that said, I'd like to thank you guys once again, and you have watched the Breaking of a God, Purphoros, God of the Forge. And I hope you guys have a fantastic week, Easter, and spring break. So with that said, I am signing off. Peace.